We know that the world is full of complicated people to live with. An example are ignorant and rude people. They are those type of people that we never know how they will behave. 1 hour they are calm and willing to dialogue, but from 1 hour to another becomes an ignorant and rude person. Knowing how to deal with ignorant people is a huge challenge and requires a lot of emotional control. After all, she is not worried if she is hurting someone with her rudeness. And the worst part is that most of the time we have to deal with rude and ignorant people at work. This becomes even more difficult because the place where we spend most of our lives then has nowhere to run. You have to learn to deal with these people. So in today's video I will introduce you to 6 techniques on how to deal with ignorant people either at work, at college, or even within the family itself. The first technique that can help you deal with ignorant people is to talk to them. Ignorant people sometimes don't realize they are being rude. They do it with so often that they get used to the way they treat other people. That's because maybe nobody came and told that person that the way they treat others is not nice, and that this can be hurting people. This is so true that you've probably been in some environment where there was a rude person where everyone said, beware of that guy over there. He doesn't like anyone to ask him anything or that they take their things. This fear is because most of the time the person is rude and stupid with who tries to approach her. The funny thing is that everyone knows she has this behavior, but no one has the courage to go up and tell her that this behavior hurts and pushes people away. So it's up to you to call the person to talk in order to avoid confrontations in the future. Try to talk to her when the tempers are high, are calm, and try to be as friendly as possible. Explain to her that you do not like this type of treatment and that you would like to be respected. Keep in mind that the development of this conversation can generate 2 results. The person can come to your senses and change the way how he treats you, or her can ignore you and continue to treat you rudely. Let's go to the second step, which is to take these rude things personally. Yes, I know it's very difficult to live with arrogant people, and especially not to take this ignorance personally, but probably this type of behavior from the person is not just with you. If they are rude to other people, it is very likely that the problem is not in the people and much less on you, but with her. That's why it's very important that you observing whether the behaviors is a punctual case where the person is rude in just a few moments or days, or if it is a constant rudeness. If this behavior is punctual, or that is she is rude in just a few days, it may be that she is facing some kind of problem at work or even family problems. So before taking it aside and try to understand why they act that way, be empathetic and put yourself in that person's shoes. And in case you realize that ignorance is constant, don't get upset. That doesn't mean she doesn't like you. Maybe she just doesn't know how to relate to other people, and you know or have had then dealing with ignorant people. The third technique for dealing with ignorant people is not to reciprocate the affronts. This technique should be used mainly in the work environment, as it is the place where we spend most of our lives, and there is no way to avoid coming into contact with this type of person. When we are treated with rudeness and we return it in kind, we become people equal to or even ruder than the person himself. This behavior of fighting back creates an environment of constant fights and leaves the heavy environment. The act of fighting back ignorant people will not bring any benefit to your professional career or even to your personal life. Quite the contrary, it will only show that you are a person without any emotional intelligence. The truth is that rude people are everywhere, so it's much smarter not to reciprocate rudeness if we don't become bitter and spiteful people. And then you're liking the content? So leave your like, subscribe here on the channel, and activate the notification bell to receive the next videos. The fourth technique for dealing with ignorant people is to be professional in case the rude person she works in the same environment as you. The ideal is to remain as professional as possible. Talk to her only in case of need for work. This will probably happen naturally. After all, no one likes to be around people who live being stupid, and the most important is not to lower your head to everything that the person does or says, but to position yourself with firmness and conviction. This does not mean that you have discussions with them, but to show that you Is a confident person. Arrogant and ignorant people usually feel the need to show that they dominate situations, and when you put your head down you are agreeing with her. Do and say that is. You are making room for her to treat you as she wants. Make it clear to her that the relationship is only professional. It shows that whether she likes you or not makes no difference, but that you are professional and demand respect. The fifth technique is the example. Yes, it is very difficult when we are treated with rudeness. The desire we have is to jump on the person's neck and show them how many sticks you can make a tent, but we know that this is not nice and much less brings positive results for our personal and professional life. As much as you have a huge desire to curse the person, try to keep calm down and show her by example that this is not how things are resolved. The example, perhaps it is one of the best ways that a person is rude, that there are other ways of acting and relating to people. For example, we show that we are mature. Emotional control by making the ignorant person feel uncomfortable with their actions. Furthermore, bouncing this off as an example will demoralize the arrogant person in front of outsiders looking on. The sixth technique on how to deal with ignorant and rude people is to remain focused on your purposes. Dealing with rude and ignorant people a very big challenge because it will not always be possible to maintain a friendly dialogue with her. In this situation there are three options. The first is to enter to the provocations of the rude person and go for direct conflict, which in my opinion is the worst way to go. The second option is to try to talk to that person and understand what makes her act so stupidly and rudely, but she won't always be open to talking to you. The third option is to remain focused on what you are going to do, regardless of how you are being treated. Understand that the problem is not you, it is the stupid and rude person. He is the one who has always been in trouble and is the one who needs help. Yeah, that's why the best way to get around this situation is not to let that person's attitudes shake your confidence and get in the way of your goals. Stay focused on your purposes, keeping in mind that you are the only person responsible for your success or failure. If you like the video, I ask you to share this video with as many people as you can, because it will help them to know how to deal with complicated people. Until the next video.